Jan Logie.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We all know that food, shelter, warmth, rest, safety and security are essential for children to develop. And I believe in this House that we all want every child to be able to be a child and to be able to develop into their best selves. And yet we all know that without those basic needs being met, children suffer, and it becomes pretty impossible for them to grasp the opportunities in life. And yet thousands of children in this country are suffering and missing out on those opportunities because benefit and paid work rates are too low and housing and power costs are too high. Otago University research has shown that more than one child a week dies of low-income related diseases because of those policy settings. I want to remind the House of this because talk of putting children first in the Child, Youth and Family Review does ring a little hollow when it's not happening in other areas across government that could also absolutely save children's lives. We've had multiple reports telling us that things within Child, Youth and Family are in crisis. We've had those over a long time. Last year, the Office for the Commissioner for the Children told us that there was the equivalent of a small city of children right now that he could not tell us were safer in care than they were in the homes they were removed from. Since that report came out, we've had experts talking, and now we're looking to 5 years out, money being provided along the way, being taken from existing services in the meantime to build a future model. And in the meantime, children's potential lifelines, social workers, are feeling under attack and still overwhelmed with too much paperwork and too many cases. And we still can't say if those children right now are safe. We need to look at the short-term safety of those children as well as our long-term goal of securing a better future for all children through whatever government structure we eventuate with. The government's new proposal will create a central organisation accountable for all children within care. It will put, we're told, more money into support for foster carers and create a market for these services to ensure that children don't have to wait for them as they are now. The Minister has likened this to ACC. She's repeated many times that children are having to wait for services from government, and she doesn't believe they should have to. We don't believe they should have to either. Yet there are waiting lists for ACC services, and indeed in some areas, even where the Minister lives, there are an absolute dearth of ACC providers, particularly for sensitive claims, which is the most analogous area. In the East Cape, on the website, ACC has one counsellor listed for the entire East Cape, a population of over 43,000 with high rates of abuse. So we know from the example of ACC that the market does not solve the problem of its own accord. We absolutely need state oversight and an investment in core government services, that we are transparent and are accountable to the people, because when we distance it out into relying on individual groups to come forward and businesses, we lose some of that accountability and ability to be sure of the provision of services. And I do want to, in the last minute, talk briefly about some of the concerns for Māori. 60% of children in care at the moment are Māori, and I've heard from social workers who they are deeply concerned that the changes at the moment, unless they absolutely focus on changing the model to a kaupapa Māori model, will result in another stolen generation. That the phrase that was used to me was that this is the potential to simply legalise child trafficking and profiteering from it. And for Māori, it equates potentially to genocide. We have to watch this carefully to make sure that every child now and in the future is safe.